Hello everyone, this is Pat with our Oracle card reading and message for Monday, the 26th of August, 2013. Excuse me, we're coming into our last week of August, and of course it's Monday, and I use the Mermaids on Monday, and today I'm going to be using the Oracle of the Mermaids card deck by Lucy Cavendish. So let's see what this Mermaid deck and these lovely and beautiful cards, what their message is for today. As we head into our final week of what we consider up here in the northern hemisphere, one of the final weeks of our summer. Wow, it's gone by so fast. All right, what do we need to know for today going into this week? What would your message be? All right, nothing's jumping out, so I am just going to go through, maybe fan the cards, and pull one out. Ooh, Soul Cage. Rescue, escape from captivity and restriction. Interesting. So it feels to me right away like this is about breaking free. And breaking free from, really, I want to say to some degree it's self-captivity. It's a desire to break out of or move on from certain situations in our life. And, in this case, the mermaid is, bringing this merman, or actually it isn't even a merman, it is a human man. She's bringing him up to the surface and assisting him. And so it certainly does mean that you may have help in this process, or may need help. You may need to reach out for some help. A professional, or someone who's really close to you may offer you their assistance. So let's look a little bit at what this particular card, what its meaning is from Lucy Cavendish. It says, in the legends of the Merrows, the mermaids of Ireland's wild and lovely west coast, there is a dark underside, the soul cages. In fact, if I recall, the singer Sting has a song named after the soul cages. And they're underwater prisons where men are held between the worlds, prisoners of the jealous Merrow men. And it says, the soul cages of legend, in which the prince lies suspended between life and death. But for every man kidnapped and thrown into the soul cage, there is a Merrow maid who will free him from the antediluvian dungeon, swim him to the surface, and start his heart once more with kisses that are part song, part spell. With the breath of Merrow and man unites, or when it unites, the prince returns alive once again, forever changed. It says the soul cage card comes to you when you're living a half life, or when someone you know is doing so. The soul cage is the one that keeps you from extending your reach, keeps you in a comfort zone that may seem to reduce, I want to emphasize, potential dangers and harms to you. But at the end, it means you really have lived neither fully awake nor fully asleep. And you have chosen suspension and compromise rather than taking risks and stepping outside your comfort zone. So it's here to wake you up, and to ask if you're ready to swim free and be reunited with your passions and your purpose. So this is a little bit about breaking free of to reconnect with more of your true purpose, more of truly who you are. And, for whatever phase that you've been in that has put you in there, or has had you put yourself in there, it's time to move on from it. Sometimes I think in our human existence, there are times when many of us who are, meant to be leaders, and we're in a time now where that's calling out the leader in all of us. But oftentimes if we're afraid of that role in some way, if we're afraid of our own power, we immerse ourselves in things that are really too small for us. We play too small. And that's what we put ourselves in this, essentially like this soul cage where we're not fully alive, we're not fully living our purpose, but we're not fully asleep either. And I'm reminded of that quote from, I think it's Howard Thurman, said, "Don't ask what the world needs, ask what makes you come alive, and do that." Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. Because when we come alive, our joy and our curiosity and our all of that comes to life, and we start living again and being willing to take risks and get out there, and we become a living role model for whatever our message is, for whatever for our uniqueness and what we're here to shine with. So as I look at this card today, it's the beginning of a week of, moving on and breaking out. Now, it says here, and again, this has to do with additional meanings of the card. It has to do with feeling trapped, restricted, squeezed, or limited. It's every compromise you've ever made that cut a little bit of your soul off. That's an interesting, really interesting way of looking at it. And every time you lied to keep the peace, that peace at any price. It's the job you took because you thought you could never make a living doing what you love. Oh my God, does that speak to me today? It's every piece of unnecessary insurance we are sold. Every time we are told to live in fear, every time we are encouraged by our culture to live as though we are in great danger. This card and the Marrows now ask you, do you wish to free yourself from that soul cage? It doesn't have to be done all at once or immediately, but little by little, it's time to start saying yes to you. So that is, I think, quite a powerful message for a Monday, to start out with for a Monday. But leave it to the mermaids. I mean, the mermaids are all about, diving into the subconscious or what's lying underneath and bringing it to the surface, bringing it to our awareness. And they're kind of saying, stop lying to yourself. It's time to break out of this. You're not really living as you desire to live, and you're the one who's keeping yourself captive. And from the other mermaid deck, which is Doreen Virtue's mermaid deck, I get synchronicity, which is the message says, your prayers and questions are being answered by synchronistic events. So notice them in order to increase their flow. So as we wake up from this soul cage, the manifestation powers that we're bringing to life are bringing about synchronistic events. As we decide, that's it, I'm done, and we're ready for change and to be more fully who we are and what we love, do what we love, synchronistic things start to occur. So pay attention to those synchronicities. So that is our Monday message, my friends, and I hope you have a lovely Monday, and it'll be interesting to see what this week is like. So please feel free to share. I look forward to speaking with you again soon. Thank you, and have a lovely day.